Hello and welcome back to the ministry. You're going to hear some music in the background because I'm sitting outside, so you're going to have to live with it. It's alright. If it get too bad, I will re-record this message. But I think this is pretty peaceful. But the message for today is isolation. What it is to be isolated and separated in order to be anointed in protection for what it is that you are called to do. When we are called by the Lord, if you go back into the word in Genesis, in the latter chapters, leading from the 40s, I think it's 40, 41, the story of Joseph. Joseph was put in a pit. He was sold into slavery. He remained a slave for several years. He was pulled out of slavery, accused, and then thrown into prison for 3 years. God will isolate people, and people will be sitting there saying to themselves, what in the world and why in the world am I isolated? Why in the world have I not have access? Why in the world am I in this pit, in this hole, in this place, in this space? Oh my God, why is this? And I found in the previous church that I was in, even the minister who recently just left that church and he's moved on to a new church he's going on to in another state, he was telling the story of when I first met him, of how when he first came into ministry, that dark season, we had to leave everything and everyone that he knew behind. Abraham, go into the place that I will show you. Leave your mother and father. Go to the place that I will show you. God will show you where to go. But when he shows you, a lot of us get caught up in our own mental lie that says, oh, I'm going to go here and start my life. Every single person that I've seen that is a minister of the gospel and of God has said this. And it is true. You think, I'm starting my life over again. This is going to be a brand new start for me. It's going to get better from here. And then it's like you was dropped into the darkest hole in the center of the earth that you ever thought that you could be dropped into. And you were asking yourself, God, what is this? This place is dark. This place is dank. This place is... What? But I love the way God works, because yesterday I was sitting there, past couple of days, I've been looking at an old TV show that I used to watch when I was a kid. Loved this show. When I tell you this show is hitting different now. It's hitting different. Because it was an episode where the girl had left because the guy died and she left town. And I felt I was literally seeing my life. I was seeing me leaving town. I saw the season in which I was gone. And then when she came back and everybody hating on her after she returned. And I was like, this is my life. And it's that element. You were going through that season of darkness where you got to go through the element. And the beauty of the episode, I will tell you this. They put her into an element where she was dropped into a dark place where time supposedly was sped up. So for, I believe, every night, a person would be gone for 24 hours, and I think 20 to 50 years had passed. So you can figure, if you calculate that back down, if you're there for about 15 minutes, you were there for 1 second. So, but it was a dark place, and she had to fight off a bunch of things, but it's an inference. Why do I put that inference? Because when you go into your isolated season, you have to fight off the spiritual warfare in which you had to deal with, in which was your family's warfare. You go into isolation to deal with the family origins and your family curses. Because the thing that people don't realize, they didn't read the fine print when they became a Christian, that, oh, by the way, you're going to have to fight every demonic entity. Especially if you come real Christian. I ain't talking about the play Christians that just go to church, praise Jesus, and go home. I'm talking about the ones that actually have a purpose and have the audacity to pursue it. Y'all gonna have to fight. You have to go into an isolated season in which you're going to have to fight off every spiritual, demonic assignment on your family's bloodline. If it's alcoholism, drug abuse, adultery, cheating, lying, circumcision of your own heart, all of these types of things, you got to do it from isolation. You got to do it from a place and a space where the Lord will not allow you to be associated with anybody or any comfort. No comfort. Because in that season, he needs to prune you and he needs to break you. There's a passage in the Bible where it says that there was a potter and he would mold the clay. But when the pot had a mark in it, he would break it and start all over again. Sometimes God will put you in seasons of isolation in order to break you. Sometimes it feels like that kind of torture that you see in those military torture shows where they try to break their mind, where they put them in isolation for a period of time in order to get them to talk. It still works. And it does seem like a torture tactic, but God will put you in an isolation in order to get you to deal with yourself, deal with the lineage curses, and you'll see them. God will put you in a place where you can see them. And he will give you discernment as to each and every single one, because you're going to need it in the season that you're going into. God will show you, and lead you into what it is, in order to help you gain understanding. But understand in these seasons of isolation, it's in order to smooth you out in the process, that nothing is just anything. It's working for you. What's happening with your children, you'll start to see them becoming disobedient. You'll begin to see that your faith becomes harder. It becomes harder to remain in faith. It becomes harder to carry the weight of what it is that you're called to do, because you have to do it in a dark place. You still got to go to you got to go to that library and keep on your ministry, like letting nobody know what you're going through in the midst of the time frame in which you're still ministering. These articles you're hearing me read right now, I was in it. When I say I was in it, I was in it. I was writing these articles and posting them up on the internet, and these were the articles I was posting when I was smack dab in the middle of it. I'm not there no more. But the lessons that I learned are the lessons I'm teaching you right now. You will have your temper tantrums. You will cry. You will want God to pull you out. You will say, God, let me out of here, let me out of here, let me out of here. I'll tell you, the Lord let me out for a moment. He pulled me out of the place I was in for a month. And he took me and put me in a convent. And I tell you, the warfare at the convent wasn't no easy either. This was some spiritual. You wouldn't think that the spiritual warfare at the convent. I'm like, my friend had suggested it to me. Oh, you saw it. I was like, oh, you telling me now that I'm out? Oh, why didn't you tell me while I was? You told me to go there, but it's like, now you're telling me what was there. But I love my friend. She's so nice. God will put you in these seasons in order to protect you. I got a meeting, that's why I keep doing that. I'm going to be getting an alarm in about 5 seconds. It's going to be, there you go. That's what I was waiting on. Now, you have to make up your mind in these seasons that you're going to be dealing with emotions. You're going to have to bind. You're going to have to rebuke. You're going to have to loose. You're going to be going through seasons of testing after testing after testing after testing in order to refine you. You can never avoid it. You are going to have a whipping. It's like your mother coming to you and whooping you. Not so much that you're whipping you because you did something wrong, but he's trying to get what's in you out. All the sin, all the corruption, all the stuff from before you walked with him. He's trying to get that out of you. He's trying to get it out of you, and he's trying to get it out of your life. And it hurts. And you're like, what did I do? I didn't do nothing. It's like you feel like you're getting a whooping for no reason. And you can't avoid the process. Because you can't pull a cake out of the oven before it's done. I've seen lava cakes and they look good, but does it taste as good as if you ate it before? If you had waited till it was done and fully moist and fully cooked, would it have tasted better? Think about that. Because you are close. You are levels away. You are going through your refining. And you can go from A to Z. From A to B. You might be on an X to Y. That close. Refining. Levels from 1 to 24. And you're crawling to get through to 25. And you feel like you're a pregnant woman going through 14 hours of labor. But you're here. You're here. You're here. You're at the end. You're going through the steps of your growth. You're stretching. God has isolated you. God has given you this group. And you are walking through elements. And the enemy is putting you through trials. But the Lord will allow the enemy to try you just like he allowed Job to try you. In order for you to grow. Don't give up. Keep going. Because he had to hold you through the process in order for you to grow. It's a smackdown. And the enemy that is going through the process. Because if he catches you and you didn't grow, you will get caught up in the next season. In pride. Through Leviathan. Through Jezebel. Through all the kinds of things that he uses as trapdoors. And see, the enemy knows that he has the right to come back and test the door again. For a season, he is allowed to leave. But he will come back. And when he comes back, you want to see if he can get back through that door. Don't let him in. But do not run. Nor do run from God. Because if you try to circumvent the process, you will have to start all over again. But you have to keep going. And the result will be the biggest blessing you have ever experienced. I gotta go. But this is Tajma Cameron from the ministry. Until next time, much love, faith, peace, and blessings. Until next time, bye-bye.